Hi, I'm Dr. Jenny Staben. I'm an English faculty member at College of Lake County and faculty coordinator of the Writing Center. The CLC Writing Center helps CLC students with writing, reading, and research in any class, from anthropology to business to theater. However, the CLC Writing Center also helps CLC students with other school-related writing. That includes scholarship applications and essays, transfer admission essays, and financial aid appeals. In this video, I'll share some tips and tricks we use in the Writing Center when helping students respond to the questions and prompts they encounter when applying for scholarships. Here's an example of a scholarship prompt. First Bank of Highland Park Scholarship for Opportunity. Please briefly describe your financial need. If you have limited sources of other aid, how does that impact your desire to stay in school? One of the things that can be most intimidating about scholarship applications and essays is that you are doing real-world writing. This is writing with a purpose, writing that needs to do something. You're trying to fund your education. You want to convince the person or people reading your words that you deserve the funding they are offering. It can help to approach this writing task rhetorically. That means thinking through questions about audience, purpose, and genre. Who's going to read it? What's it supposed to do? What qualities should it have? While you can't exactly know who is going to read your essay or prompt, it helps to remember that it is a real live person or set of people reading your response. It's not being read by a computer. What do you know about the organization that's giving the scholarship? What do you think might convince them that you're a good candidate? While your purpose is to fund your education by being awarded a scholarship, your essay or written response should achieve two purposes. It should make an argument for why you are a good candidate for this scholarship. It should help the reviewer or reviewers get to know you as a student and a person. What qualities should your essay or response have? A lot depends on the prompt itself. Most prompts ask for a bit of personal narrative, specific details from your experience. At the same time, you may also be working to create a persuasive argument. The tone should be formal, but not too formal. It should sound like you. The length and the focus really depend on what the scholarship prompt asks for. Let's look back at our first example. This prompt asks you to do two things. 1. Describe your financial need. 2. Explain how having limited sources of aid impacts your desire to stay in school. The prompt also asks you to be brief. So this prompt tells you what you need to talk about, but also tells you you shouldn't write too much. Now, brief isn't very specific, but our advice would be a paragraph for each point. Some general advice for any scholarship application. Address the prompt. Address all of the prompt. This means you may need to look closely at the different parts of the prompt. Finally, follow the prompt's guidelines for length. If it says 500 words, don't write more than 500 words. If it says a page, try to write a page. Here's another example of a scholarship prompt. Bookstore scholarship. Maximum one-page essay required with the subject of how the scholarship will impact your educational pursuit and future. So you know you cannot write more than a page. Also, it asks for an essay, which suggests you should write a response that looks like an essay with paragraphs and some sort of introduction and conclusion. Finally, the focus needs to be on how the scholarship will help you pursue your educational and other future goals. Here's a third example of a scholarship prompt. Coalition Latinos Unidos de Lake County. Submit a 500 to 750 word essay, typed in double-spaced, describing yourself and how the scholarship will help you achieve your goals and how you may be able to use your education in the service of the Latino community of Lake County. Again, pay attention to the prompt. You have guidelines for how long it needs to be, 500 to 750 words, and how it should be formatted, typed and double-spaced. Also, the focus has 3 parts, and it's important to write about each one. Describe yourself. Describe how the scholarship will help you achieve your goals. Describe how you may be able to use your education in the service of the Latino community of Lake County. Some more advice. Be specific, not general. Tell stories. Use vivid details. However, be focused. Don't just tell a story to tell a story, but use a story to support the point you are making. For example, this first prompt asks you to provide an essay about overcoming a significant challenge. There's not much guidance about how long your response should be. However, you know it should be formatted like an essay, and you should focus on telling a story about how you overcame a significant challenge. The second prompt is also vague about length. However, it does give you clues about what it wants you to focus on, your involvement in the community. And that verb, describe, means be specific. Don't just tell us you volunteered at a local library. Tell us specifically what you did there. As a current or prospective CLC student, you can apply for a number of scholarships through the CLC Foundation. You fill out one application, and then you are automatically connected to scholarships you qualify for. The questions on this application are important and should be taken as seriously as a scholarship essay. You want to respond to them thoroughly and thoughtfully. Here are the questions. What are your career goals? How will CLC help achieve those goals? How will your plans change if you do not receive a scholarship? How do you plan to balance your academic work with other responsibilities in your life? The next question is a bit more complicated. Please describe any involvement you have had in the community, as well as what you have learned from your involvement. This could include community service groups, school organizations, work employment, etc. Don't miss the fact that this question has two parts. Describe your involvement. Describe what you've learned. The next question is even longer. Describe any other information that would be useful to the Scholarship Review Committee, such as special financial or personal circumstances you and your family are facing, academic and personal achievements, unusual learning experiences, unique talents, leadership experience, or service commitments missions. Again, it helps to look at the different parts of the prompt. The list of things you might want to tell the committee include special financial or personal circumstances you and your family are facing, 2, academic and personal achievements, 3, unusual learning experiences, 4, unique talents, 5, leadership experience, 6, or service commitments missions. It can be easy to miss one of the items in this list, so breaking it apart or highlighting the ones that apply to you can really help. We've given you some advice about how the final product should look and about how to analyze a prompt. However, you need to get writing. Here's some advice about how to tackle the process. First of all, give yourself enough time to generate material for the prompts. Don't wait until the last minute. The sooner you get your brain focused on this task, the more time it has to work, even when you're doing other things like driving to work or walking the dog. Second, spend time brainstorming. If you're someone who likes to talk out their ideas, find somebody to brainstorm with. If you like to brainstorm on your own, do rounds of speed brainstorming where you set the timer on your phone for 8 minutes and write, and then 6 minutes and write, and then 4 minutes and write, and so on. Third, give yourself permission to write a messy, disorganized first draft. Getting ideas out of your head and on the page is the main thing. Worry about how you're going to organize and focus them later. Fourth, don't forget the power of reading your words out loud. You can catch mistakes, work on flow, and just hear if things sound the way you want them to. Finally, don't go it alone. Work with a teacher, a tutor, or a friend or family member you trust. Read your piece out loud to them, or have them read it out loud to you so you can better hear how it sounds. Remember, time spent on the process will help you create a stronger product, whether that's a paragraph or two or a whole essay. Questions about this process? Contact your CLC College and Career Navigator. They'll be happy to help.